All right, good evening, everyone. It is Monday, May 16th, 2023, not 2022, 2023. It's the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined by my co-host here usually on Mondays. Today's Tuesday this week. Big Marcel. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I wasn't able to do it yesterday, but we were today on Tuesday evening. Marcel, thanks you as well. How's everything going, man?
Still good, man. Still good. Had a good weekend, so
Good.
had a fun interacting week last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about you?
I'm good, dude. I'm doing well. And we both crushed it in the picks last week. Marcel, it was like part of our best card of the year, I would say. Called multiple upsets. It was just a good night for both of us. We'll talk about that.
You know the stupidity, man. I changed the first two fights both.
Yeah, you
If
just
I
went
didn't, I had the
1-1
same
anyways.
picks. Yeah.
I know, it never always works out that way. Let's get some comments here. We got Quinn. What's up, man? So, what's up, man? How's it going? Juan. Talk about Magano. We'll talk about him in a second. Girl, what's up, man? Thanks again for the artwork, my friend. Appreciate it. Knox, what's up, man? Yeah, so we'll do the UFC Charlotte recap, guys. We'll do a Bellator recap, 286. So that'll take, I don't even know if we'll go the first hour. We'll probably end up going the full hour, but second hour, we'll do the preview for UFC Vegas 73. Do you want to talk about the Nagano thing right now? Just because I know people are going to ask about it. You want to wait? What do you want to do?
Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
I mean, it's big news, obviously. Like, it's the first thing I saw when I woke up. They sent the press release out at 6 a.m., Marcel. So they wanted, yeah, they did. They literally did. 6:01 a.m. I checked the email. They just wanted people to know about it, and it's a big signing for PFL. Good for them. Here's my thoughts. Okay, happy for Francis. I'm happy for the guy. He got paid a lot of money, and he got everything he wanted. It looks like he had to wait a while to get it, but it looks like the wait paid off. And I'm happy for the guy. It's a bummer he's not in the UFC anymore, guys, obviously, because the best fights are in the UFC for him. The best heavyweights in the world are in the UFC. So he's not going to be fighting John Jones. He's not going to fight Pavlovich. He's not going to fight these guys. Jailton, Almeida. I don't know. Any of these guys, really. These fights aren't happening anymore. It's unfortunate, right? But honestly, man, I'm fighter first. I've always been fighter first. So for a guy to go out there and get the contract he wanted, how could you not be happy for this guy? Selfishly, as a fan, I wanted him to stay in the UFC, but I'm fine with him leaving. I mean, he's going to get paid more money to do less work. Like, how is that a bad thing for him? I think it's bad for the fans because they don't get to see the best fighter, but one of the best heavyweights fight the other best heavyweights in the world. But from a personal point of view, Marcel, I think he looks like he did well. He's going to have to wait until next year apparently to fight, but financially, he might even do better than Jones. Crazy enough, guys. Like, John Jones came out last year, I think, or maybe 2 years ago. All these tweets, he was like, I got ripped off in my 20s. The UFC didn't pay me much. I was too naive to realize when I was getting paid. And Francis didn't make that same mistake that he did earlier in his career. Jones is obviously on Twitter now barking at Francis. I gotta be honest, Marcel, he seems a little jealous to me. That's my thoughts, guys. He seems a little jealous because Francis is going to get paid probably just as much, if not more money than John is to fight lesser competition. That seems like a pretty good job to me, guys. So everyone's saying like, oh, he's going to PFL, it's the B League. I don't think he gives a fuck. That's what I think, Marcel. I don't think Francis gives a shit. He's going to get paid more money to fight lesser competition. That sounds pretty good to me, guys. Who wouldn't want to do less work and make more money? That's the goal. That's your dream. I mean, listen, I get it. The dream is the UFC championship. He already won that belt. He didn't make as much money as he wanted. He wanted out. He was in the UFC. We didn't know what his experience was like. But we're going to take Dana White's word for everything, Marcel, about all the negotiations, everything. Francis did well. That's my thoughts on it, man. I'm happy for the guy. I'm not jealous. I'm happy, and I think he's going to do well. And I think Jones, he's just a sad guy. He's just out there, talking shit now. And I understand they both don't like each other. I get it, but like, talk that shit when you're both in the same promotion, Anyways, that's my thoughts on it, man. I'm happy for the guy. He got what he wanted. So, what do you think?
I mean, I have no problem with it, I mean, I think money-wise it's good for him, and listen, man, the name is prize fighters, right?
Yep,
So,
exactly. Exactly.
That's it. So I understand that fully,
Yep.
At the same time, if you look at career legacy, whatever, do you think it will be anything better? No, definitely not. But
No.
I mean, he showed already what he's capable of in the UFC,
Yep.
So I agree with you, man. When you get an offer that is like so much better, and you feel better with it, and you get all these extra things, like you were big. How do you say that? He's he's not even. How do you say that?
Like a ambassador for
No,
PFL.
He's like a chairman of PFL Africa or whatever.
Yep.
He gets parts of the.
I think he's taking a salary for that, if I'm not mistaken, too, right?
Yeah, and he's on the board with
that's
certain
great.
stuff. I mean,
that's great.
He got an offer he can't refuse.
Dude, you've seen The Godfather. I mean, that's the truth. Like, okay, listen, it's not the same situation at all. But like, even myself, Marcel, like when I had a job offer 2 years ago, I was working for BJ Penn. It's a big website. It's a big MMA website. I was doing okay there. I got a job offer from a website quick than what I'm working at now. I'd never even heard of it, But again, they made me such a great offer, Marcel. I was like, okay, I'll probably get read by less people and not be as popular of a writer, but like I'll be able to put more food on the table for my family. I took the offer. So it's not really a similar comparison in that, I don't make as much money as these guys. But I mean, I left like a bigger company, quote unquote, to join a smaller company, but I get paid more money now. So like,
you can people do this. Yeah, you can like, for example, you can work at a super fancy restaurant and have to make the most difficult dishes every time and get paid a certain amount of money. Or you go work at fucking McDonald's where you have to flip burgers, but you get paid more. What you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I understand it, and it's and like I said, and like you said, he fought the best guys in the division when he was there, So right now, people saying he's walking away for Jones, I don't really believe that.
I don't think so either. Never turned on anyone else. Like, I don't know.
Listen, if Jones got that offer, we might have seen Jones in PFL. You know what I mean?
I'm saying. Jones is just pissed because he probably didn't get the same offer. He's good. Like, remember, Jones is the one who's like, I didn't get paid anything in my 20s. I want to find that tweet where he said that. Keep going, Marcel.
You probably deleted it already.
This is old though. It's like 2 years ago. You're right. You probably deleted it. I don't know if I can find this tweet, but it was a couple years ago. Here we go. I found it. It's from 2020. I found it. I found it. Good. I found the fucking tweet, guys. Yeah. I found it. I'm going to read it because you know what?
Better screenshot it.
I'm going to, because it's enough of this shit about the way people like change the narrative over the years. Look at this shit that John was saying in 2020. When I was in my prime, the UFC's way of not paying me was telling me I wasn't a star. Had me grateful for a new car. Meanwhile, making tens of millions of my own. UFC pressed the young kid with a Bentley to fight Machida while they collected millions. Dude, you read this shit? I'm not even asking for back pay for ripping me off throughout my entire 20s. Just want to be treated fairly moving forward. If I see young fighters, you're hot right now, get paid. As much as UFC is building around, you are building theirs. If you think your biggest paydays will come after being with the company for a while, you are wrong. I fought mega fight after mega fight throughout my early 20s for under $2 million a fight. Who knows what it actually owed? Makes me feel like a fool actually thinking about it. I told you guys, he's just jealous. Like this is what he fucking said 3 years ago. Okay? And this is when he was like, I'm not even gonna fight anymore. I don't want to. Look at this. Read these tweets, Marcel. Get the fuck out of here. Like he was so angry, and like 3 years later, I love John Jones as a fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's the best fighter ever, right? But like the guy's so wishy-washy, Marcel. Look at this shit. This is 33 years ago. You have any thoughts on this? I mean, like, look what he's saying.
I was kind of distracted by that big UFC weigh-in photo there, but I agree with you, man. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Right. Anyways, let's get some comments, guys. All right. Well, there's comments about the releases. I'll talk about those in a second. Let me read the comments about Nagano first. Sucks we won't see Parker Porter and Nagano yet.
Yeah, man. I thought about it and I couldn't sleep for 3 days.
Fight of the century. Not many good heavyweights over there. Didn't Capitals get popped for Royce? He's like a top heavyweight over there. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second as well. I want to get my thoughts quickly. I agree, Adam. I also gotta stop saying he's the best in the world. I agree with that too. I mean, he can't say that anymore, like because he's on the UFC. I agree with that. That's the only thing I agree with. Like as far as the anti-Nagano stuff goes, that's stupid. But as far as like taking more money to fight for like a lesser company, I don't fucking blame the guy at all. Does anyone in MMA media know exactly what UFC offer Francis, exactly what PFL is offering Francis? I don't see how PFL makes a profit, survives long-term business. They have crazy backing markets. Like, they have backers, but you're right. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've been saying this for like 3 or 4 years now. I'm like, how are they going to pay these guys $1 million? Even the first season, I was like, they're not paying Sean O'Connell $1 million. And then they fucking paid it to him. So, like, they are going to pay these guys. People understand that Nymer has had goals and ambition. Some people fight for money. Others make a name, legacy. I'm happy with Francis. Exactly, dude. I completely agree. As far as like a fight goes, the only one that makes sense right now in PFL is Ante Delia, who was their champion last year. But that's not a super fight. So
I was thinking about Verdum.
Verdum is kind of a big name, but like also really old. It looks like he's like been using something as well. I'm not sure, but The other option I was thinking was the rumors with Bellator being bought up by PFL. They could do Ryan Bader against Francis. That would be the other big fight if they bought Bellator. He's the champion there, Marcel.
But look at my face.
Well, I mean, how about Fedor? I mean, could Fedor come back out of retirement?
No, stop it. No, we don't gonna put Fedor through that. No, we don't gonna do.
Well, it's probably gonna be Ben Rothwell then, or someone like that. Or Verdum. I mean, I can't. Maybe they could sign like Mark Hunt. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, maybe they could wait for another UFC fighter to get released.
It's not for nothing that they do it in 2024, right?
Yeah, they're waiting for options, right? They have to be. Maybe there's another fighter we're not thinking about that can be released soon. Mm-hmm. Anyways, overall, I'm happy for the guy. I think it's fine. All right, let's get this last comment. Chase Sherman. No, I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so let's get some comments about. Well, let's get into the card. We'll talk about the cuts during the card. Let's just do that. Let's do that because I mean, people are asking, but like, let's just get into it. So
there was a card.
Yeah, there's a card. The Francis use is big. Let's get into UFC Charlotte now, guys. Let's recap the card. So, like I said, we crushed it, Marcel. We did really good. Both went 9-2.
That's what she said.
Really good night of really good night of picks though. It was really good. Start the main event. I mean, this fight was let's be honest, it was a no-brainer. Jailton Almeida defeats Jailton, I should say. I gotta pronounce it right. Jailton Almeida. Although Mandy Boom is still pronounced wrong. We'll talk about that.
That's so annoying.
So bad. Jailton Almeida defeats Jairzinho Rozenstruik by submission. So that first takedown attempt, he stuffed it really good. I'm like, oh shit, he's been working his takedown defense. And then, like a second later, Marcel just gets bull rushed, gets double legged, taken down, mounted, and then choked out like a minute later. And didn't get hit again. No significant strikes landed again. Jailton's the real deal, man. I really wasn't sure about him at 265 or heavyweight. I'm like, why is he going to heavyweight? He's already a big guy for light heavyweight. He doesn't need to, go up to a division and be a smaller guy. But he's doing really good, dude. For a guy that's like 230, he's taking guys down there 265 plus easily. The guy's a fucking beast. I mean, he's so good. We already knew this. He's 5-0 with 5 finishes in the first or second round. The UFC clearly likes the guy. They're fast tracking up the ladder, guys. I personally would like to see him fight Curtis Blades. I think that's the fight because we already know he has a good ground game. We know this about this guy already, but I want to see a stand-up. I have no idea if the stand-up's any good. I really have no clue. I know he's been knocked out before, but like, does he have good knockout power? Does he have good technical striking? I don't know. A guy like Blades, he probably won't be able to take Blades down easily. I don't even know if he'll be able to take him down at all, right? They let's be honest, Marcel. They gave him the Jairzinho fight because Jairzinho was a fish out of water on his back. Everyone knows that. Well, with Blades, it's like, is he even going to take him down? It's going to be very difficult. So, like, you have to see a stand-up probably. That's why I like that fight. I don't know. What do you think's next for him? What do you think?
I mean, it was a good performance by him. The funny thing is, like, I had a bet with somebody. When will Almeida initiate the first takedown? And I said 8 seconds, and the friend of mine said 19 seconds. And it was 6 seconds, so it was even quicker. So, yeah, I mean, the first takedown was kind of stuffed by Rozenstruik, but he was on his back like 30 seconds later, And, yeah, I mean, listen, man, I have all respect for Rozenstruik, and you have that kind of extra connection because he's from Suriname, and Suriname was colonial from the Netherlands, so he talks Dutch,
right?
Definitely. Right? And I talked to him before, so but like I said last week, I think you were submission Almeida first one. I was on Almeida with TKO with ground and pound. Yeah. So we both had him in the first round pretty much because we knew if he got into the ground, it's pretty much over. And it was, So that said, I like the Blades fight you're putting out there. He's asked himself, he asked for Tuivasa.
Yes, that's the fight he called for, but like that's the easiest fight for him.
I know, but I understand the call out.
Of course, I understand the call out. Again, Marcel, we all want to work less and make more money, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm in agreement with you, man. I want to see him grapple against Blades. That would be fun. At the same time, I think the UFC shit the bed with the main event for London. Should have waited for this fight and make Aspinall against Almeida. In my opinion, I know many people don't like it because it's prospect against prospect, but it's a much more appealing fight than Aspinall to Tabura, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, you can match up Almeida with pretty much everybody above him. The guy is really intriguing to watch. His ground control is super good, in my opinion. But I want to see him, for example, like you said, against Blades, man. Can he get him to the ground? Can he outwork him on the ground? I really want to see that, because the styles aren't the same. Blades is much more of a wrestling kind of guy, and he's more of a BJJ kind of guy. Almeida.
Yep.
So, really fun style matchup. I hope they make that. I think it's a fun fight. So I'm for it.
I think it makes sense. You know what's crazy? I was looking at his stats. That Nazardinov guy was the only guy who actually outlanded him in strikes and still got destroyed. That's fine. Yeah. He even took him down. So he's the one guy who had any sort of success, and that was 2 years ago, and then still ended up getting finished. No one in the UFC's even touched this dude. He's very good. We're gonna get some more comments here in a second. There's some funny ones here. Sure. Blades beats Jailton. I mean, possibly. That's why I like the fight, because I think
that's why we want to see it.
Yeah, it's just a good fight. There's a comment in there about you, Marcel. I'll read it in a second.
Yeah, for sure.
I also think Aspinall will win against Almeida. Aspinall is a high level on the feet, on the ground. Possibly. I mean, it'd be a good fight. I'm okay with them not doing that fight, but I don't like the Tabura fight either. That guy doesn't do it for me. He's not an exciting guy to watch, and it looks like the UFC just wants to get Aspinall an easy win. And that really, let's be honest. That's what
I hear people saying they should give him a 2-knock fight because he lost to Blades last time. It's like, we're in the UFC, guys. We're not.
Thank you, dude. This is fucking the amateur leagues. I know.
It's just like when people say for Tuivasa, for example. No, I don't want Tuivasa against Almeida because he gets taken down and loses again. Yeah, hello, welcome to the UFC, where you got to fight everybody pretty much in the top if you stand above the guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I agree. If they do that fight, I don't hate it. I'm just saying I'd rather see Blades. That's all I'm saying.
Me too. I agree.
Jailton could be double champ. I mean, he's one of the few guys that could, because he is a beast. And again, he only weighed in. I want to say he was 229, right? I think that's what he weighed. That's not a big heavyweight at all. I think he was 220. Was it
230 or 229 or 239? One of the two.
Let me double check. But I think that's what it was, because I remember being like, "Wow, this is a."
Was a
lot. Oh, it was 231. It's 231. Sorry,
31.
Okay. It was a 34-pound weight edge. That's a big edge. He took him down so easily. So he's an absolute beast. All right, we'll go to the next fight. I'm going to read the comment in a sec, but I want to just talk about the fight really quick. It really wasn't a good fight. Johnny Walker defeats Anthony Smith. Give a shout out to our boy Marcus in the chat. He put a big bet on Johnny Walker. And
congrats, Marcus, man.
We've been talking about the fight, and I liked him. We both picked Johnny, right? I think you picked him too last
time. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I liked him, especially against Anthony Smith, who I think is on a big decline, Marcel. Looks like he's really declining. Anthony Smith looked bad, guys, again. He looked terrible his last fight and this fight. It looked like he was going to retire. Now he's saying he wasn't playing on it, and his hands were just tight because of the wraps. That makes sense, I guess. But I think a lot of people thought he was going to step away, including Dana White. Dana was like, "Yeah, I thought he might have hung his gloves and put his gloves on the ground." So it's not like that would have been a surprise. I'm just saying Anthony's a tough dude, but Marcel, I don't think he's got a lot left in the tank. I got to be honest with you. This wasn't an impressive fight for either guy. Dana didn't like the fight. Johnny did what he had to do to win. He didn't lose. He had to win. The guy's kind of learning how to win. Remember, let's be fair to Johnny. He was on a 1-4 skid, Marcel, a couple years, last year. Yeah. After Jamal knocked him out, everyone's like, "Oh, Johnny's gonna get cut. He's done. He sucks."
Now he's top 5.
Now he's three-fight win streak, and he's ranked in top 5 in the UFC. Yeah. So I got to give the guy credit, Marcel. He's really bounced back. It's been good to see. At the same time, I also feel like the matchups have been favorable. Let's be honest. Kutalaba, I know he won his last fight, but he's very, very up and down, that guy. Very consistent. Paul Craig obviously just doesn't have a chin. He's moving down in weight, by the way. He's fighting Andre Muniz, guys, at 185.
Who did you say?
Paul Craig.
Thank you.
The other one, you're welcome. And the other one would be Johnny Walker, Anthony Smith, who I just think is on a decline. Don't get me wrong; they're decent wins, but I just think the UFC's been matchmaking him well to get him back into the winning column. If that makes sense, Marcel. I think they like him, but this was a bad, it was just a bad fight. It was a showcase fight for him, and I don't think he showed everything he had. But he got the win, so that's important. Now we got to read these comments, guys. It's funny. So the attacking my family thing, I'm kind of with Glenn on this one too, a little bit. It was really weird, right? Johnny's like, "What?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" Anthony definitely could have some, potential PTSD issues or something.
I feel like he tried to, how do you say that? That this is just guessing. He tried to find something to motivate himself.
Motivate him, yeah. Maybe. I mean, it's possible, right? You're trying to take money from my family, kind of. I get what he's saying, but
it was really weird because Johnny was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, he's like, "Huh?" And it was weird. Okay, let me read the comments here. Big Marcel, you tweet about Johnny Walker and Anthony Smith media questions about Smith not liking Walker or Walker not knowing why Smith did not like him cause a stir. Are you and Amy Kaplan cool on the Oscar will say, Bud, next time you talk shite, say it to my face. So
okay.
you want to address this? Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So I tweeted out like you saw the tweet probably, and I had no idea it was Oscar. Really, I didn't know. So I said media member. Out of nowhere, I get a text message from Oscar. I didn't even know it was him first. He's like, if you have a problem with media, you should address it to it personally. So it's like, I'm looking at the picture, I see it's Oscar. So it's like, yeah, you're probably Oscar Willis, right? That's like at the moment I tweeted, I didn't know it was you because I just didn't, So a little bit talking back and forth, I kept it nice, But the thing is, like, with that media kind of thing, I just didn't like it, And that's why I said it. Also, my colleague talked to Smith before the media day, and he was super complimented about Johnny Walker. He said he's a great fighter. He's very difficult to emulate because he pretty much doesn't know what he does himself. He's like really out of nowhere type of guy who would throw something what you don't expect. So he has to be sharp for 15 minutes. That's what he said. So when the guys could get read it on Twitter what I said. So they tell me like, yeah, you don't know what happened in the back, this and that. Then I actually hear, and I'm not going to say any name, it's from somebody from Anthony's team that he was annoyed by the questioning during media day. So, okay, I was like, I wasn't wrong with what I said, but whatever, So I said to Oscar, apologize if you get any backlash. Not my how do you say that?
Intention?
It's not. Yeah, definitely not my intention. That's a good word. It's not my intention. I just wanted to say what I saw, what I thought. And I was like, I'm not a dick. I'm just saying what I think. And he's like, yeah, I think you actually are. Yeah, okay, if you
told you that private or on
not private. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But okay, whatever. He also said. I said also like. I'm not a dick. I said it on Twitter as well, or a punk, and he's like, agree to disagree. So yeah, whatever, and that's that, I mean, and then it's like at the weigh-in, Smith doesn't want to shake his hand.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Yeah, so I again reached out to one of his team, and he's like, he wants to focus on himself. He doesn't want to be talking to Johnny or whatever, he wants to focus on the fight. And he's been through a tough time, I don't know if you saw the interview with my colleague Dennis. He did. He was talking about like after the injury, he got injured again. He had like a blood clot. And he had to. Then his mom passed away. Pretty surprisingly, he didn't expect that. So he had a really tough time. And I just got annoyed by it. What was there. And I mean, if I was wrong, I think more people would have said I was wrong, But literally everybody I spoke to, they said I wasn't wrong. Only Oscar and Amy said I was wrong,
Right.
So it's like, okay, I apologize to Oscar. Obviously didn't apologize to Amy. I mean, she unblocked me to tell me that I shouldn't tell her how to do her job. I don't tell her how to do her job. I just say what I think,
Mm-hmm.
And she can do her job whatever she wants, however she wants to do it. I don't care, But she unblocked me pretty much to talk to me, man. I was like, listen, you started to say, fuck yourself to me. And then she's like, no, you said that. I was like, Amy, I have the screenshots. And you can even look it up on Twitter that you started calling me names. So don't even start, But I told her as well, I don't have anything against her, But hey, I don't care, But I think I addressed it right now, but it's just stupid, man. I mean, why would you be upset about it? And I know why they're upset about it. Listen, if somebody said it with like 10 followers, they didn't give a shit, But I said it, and many people replied to it. So again, and the thing is, Amy kept replying under that tweet, so it kept more traction. It's just
the thing is, like, she's like they're friends, her and Oscar, because obviously they're always at media day, right? Like every week, her, Alex, and Oscar. And I get that, but like. Bro, and this is the advice for like people in general. Like, you don't have to fight your friends' battles. Let them do it on their own. Like, you know what I mean, Marcel? It's an online internet battle. It's not like it's it's not like there's a threat in real life. Like if it was like a real life threat, you know, and you want to help your friend, that's understandable. But like you guys are talking shit online to each other. Like who cares? Why doesn't someone else need to jump in and defend them? You know, like that's all I'm saying.
You know what really annoyed me was that he started asking like Walker about it, and Walker said like I don't know, and then he's like. He's like Walker said, I don't know. I might have trained with this coach before. Maybe that's why he doesn't like me or hate me, but I don't know, he said, you know. Then you go to Smith and they ask Smith, don't you like Johnny Walker? And he's like, Johnny Walker's a good fighter, blah, blah, blah. And there is nothing there. And then Oscar says, yeah, because Johnny Walker thinks you hate him. Johnny Walker never said that. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of annoyed me. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it. But people made it way bigger, man, way too big. I mean, Oscar starts texting me. If I don't reply within 5 minutes, he starts calling me. I mean, and I wonder how he got my number. You know, I wonder who gave him my number without my permission. If you ask me, you go, well, you can have my number. But I hate it when people give my number away without permission.
I think it's pretty obvious you gave me your number. I mean,
I have no idea.
I think it's pretty obvious, dude.
Well, you can tell me after the show because I have really no idea.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Like, I'll send you a DM right now, okay?
Yeah, do it.
Actually, yeah, I'll send you a message on WhatsApp.
Do it.
I'll send it to your number because I have your number. Anything else you want to say? Can we move on, guys? Can we move on? You good? You done talking shit about this, Marcel?
Yeah, man. I'm just saying what I think, you know. And like I said, if somebody is upset about it, yeah. I thought as well at first, Adam.
You see my text?
Yeah, I thought as well at first, but probably not. And I'll tell you why not after the show.
Okay, sure. We'll talk about that later. All right, let's get to the next fight here. You got Ian Gary knocks out Dan Rodriguez. And we both picked Gary. Loved him in this fight. This was another... Okay, remember, guys, this was a big ABC card. And I watched Dana with Dana. I think I was talking about it on the show last week. He was like, you know, this is a showcase card. We're doing these fights that we have a prospect. Basically, they're trying to win fights. They were very obvious about this time. Dan Rodriguez has looked terrible the last couple of fights, man. What happened to this guy, Marcel? He was so good at the beginning of his UFC run, and now he's just looking bad. And I understand he's fighting good fighters, Magny and Gary. I get it, guys. But, like, getting finished now, his gassing out in his fights, getting finished in the first round. Not only that, but Sean Strickland came out later and said this guy didn't even train for his fight. And they both train in Vegas, so maybe he knows something. Maybe he's just like, this guy just took the check and he figured it out. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't take that much away from Gary's performance. Gary looked amazing again. He landed the head kick he talked about, finished him, got the bonus. We got the girl, Marcel. He's got the bonus. He's got everything. I mean, this guy definitely could be a superstar. There's no doubt about it, guys. Like, he's very young. He's very ambitious, but very confident and very motivated. And he's only 25. It's crazy. This guy's special, man. I gotta be honest, man. I think he's a special guy. He's looking great. And he's only been in the UFC for less than 2 years. He's 5-0 now already, with three finishes, back-to-back knockouts now. He's ranked. He got the tattoo that says he's 15th, but he's actually ranked 13th. I don't know if you saw that, Marcel. It's kind of funny. Yeah. I really like him. You call out Neil Magny. I didn't like the call out because Magny already has a fight booked against Phil Rowe. It just was a bad call out. And then it wasn't a bad call out, like, as far as the matchup goes, but it's a bad call because the opponent has an opponent already.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I think Megan Levy interviewed him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I already knew he's fighting Phil Rowe, but I'm assuming he wins that fight." And I'm like, "I don't think he knew he was fighting Phil Rowe. I don't think he knew, Marcel, because it's not a call. You don't call someone out that has a fight booked in like a month from now. It doesn't make sense." I do like the fight if that's the fight that they make. I know he said he has like a 6-fight plan to get the belt. This was fight 1 of it, I believe. But if he has to fight 5 more fights, he's going to be 10-0 before he gets title shot. That's not happening. They're going to fast track him. I don't think they need to because he's so young, but he's already ranked 13th. And you look at the rankings, Marcel, ranked right above him are Magny and Chiesa, and I think he beats both those guys. I think he beats Vicente Luque, number 10. I love Luque, but that's a good fight for you and Gary.
He's not going to
They won't fight him because they're teammates. I'm just saying that'd be a good fight for him. Sean Brady is also a fight. I think he could win potentially. Jeff Neal would be a good fight. I think that might be the fight. They might have to just bounce him to number 8 and let him fight Neal. Do you like that fight?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it depends on what the UFC wants to do with him. You know, the thing is, like, Ian Gary, amazing fighter, very promising guy.
Yep.
But take him away from the mic. You know.
You don't like his mic skills?
His what? His mic skills? No, man. It's like super cringy, man.
Yeah.
If you talk to him, you know, and I see.
Bro, he is such a nice guy. Seriously,
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It
really
doesn't fit the persona what he's putting out. So that's just all BS. And I really like the normal Ian Gary when he's like talking. You have a I think I sent you a clip last time where he's going through the top 15. That's a super fun clip where he's talking like freely about what he thinks about the division.
I think his fight IQ and his IQ for MMA is very high. Like I think it's very, very high. And he hasn't taken much damage. I think his brain is still intact. You know what I mean? Like he still has a good wits about him. Definitely. Sorry, Marcel. I just like the guy. I mean, he's really grown on me. I wasn't sure about him at first, but he's grown on me, man.
I think he's good, man. But the thing is, like with the UFC, remember when this fight got announced first? It was Ian Gary versus Daniel Rodriguez, because Daniel Rodriguez wasn't number 15 back then. He was outside the rankings. You know, and then he came in the rankings like 3 weeks ago. Out of nowhere. Nobody got cut, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think out of nowhere he came out number 15. And,
no, because Masvidal got released.
Oh, yeah, right.
Retired.
I'm sorry. Retired.
Yeah. Sorry. He didn't get released.
So out of nowhere I came in 15, and then it was Rodriguez against Ian Gary.
Yep.
So the thing is, what I'm here thinking is like, was this actually supposed to be Gary getting in the rankings? I don't know if that was supposed to be, but when he's now fighting number 15, he's now in the rankings. So what are you going to do with him? Do you going to fast track him to the top? It's possible. You give him Jeff Neal, but if you don't want to fast track him to the top and want to see what he's there, you can't give him Kevin Holland, for example. I love that fight as well.
It's a good fight too,
you know. But it's like that's pretty much.
I think they're going to fast track it. And I'll tell you why. Because look at the rankings, like. There's no other fights that make sense, like really, unless they're gonna wait for Magny and Rowe. They could, but like I'll give you an example. Pereira is 15th, and he's fighting number 7 next.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is that they ranked him higher than Jack Della Maddalena.
Didn't like it either. I think he should have entered at 15. Yeah, 15, you go to 15. You don't.
14 is good as well. 14, I didn't mind.
Yeah, I think over Pereira's okay, but I don't like it over Jack either. I think Jack's. I understand Ian does have more wins now, I think, in the UFC than Jack, but Jack's looked amazing too. And I feel like it's almost like kind of a slap in the face to Jack a little bit. Because, Randy, I guess Randy Brown wasn't ranked, though, to be fair. He might have been 15th, but I don't think he was. So,
no, he wasn't.
Anyways, I get it, but like D-Rod didn't look great in that fight. All right, let's get some comments, guys. There are some comments here. George Hardwick versus McKinney. Is that true? Is that a real fight?
As far as I know, not at the moment. But
I know that McKinney said he has a fight coming up, right? I think he said he's got a fight booked.
Yeah.
That fight makes sense. That's the guy from Cage Warriors, right?
That's the Cage Warriors champion, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. It'd be a good fight. And honestly, I feel like the UFC's giving up on Terrence a little bit. Do you feel that way a little bit?
Yeah, possible, you know, maybe because of that last fight. That was really like it wasn't not really good. The Dober fight was fun, actually, but yeah,
it was a great fight. Amazing fight. That fight was so fucking good. And then obviously he knocked out Frivola. Remember that? No, everyone forgets about that. Remember, MMA math doesn't work, Marcel. As we know.
No. It's like the whole carousel, right? Just like with Marina Rodriguez, Mackenzie Dern, and Verna Jandiroba, right?
Yeah, Jandiroba, you mean. Let's some more comments here. John Morgan. What about John? What happened to John? What are you talking about John for? What did John do?
No idea. Nothing.
I'll say this. How's it going, man? Hope you're having a great day as well, my friend. I didn't see Ian Gary, Jeff Neal. I think it's a good fight. I actually think it's a good fight. He doesn't like Gary either. Hates his personality. That's what Glenn says. I think a lot of people are like that. Still young, good behavior, doesn't turn to Colby. I don't think he will, but like who knows if the ego gets to his head. What would your opening odds be for Gary versus Jeff Neal? I would favor Ian Gary. But it would be close. It'd be like minus 150. It would be a close fight, I think.
I do pick him right now.
I'm not saying I would pick him, but like I think he would be favored. He's been a favorite in all his fights. There's no reason he wouldn't be.
He will definitely be favored. I think so too, yeah.
Salary just got released. Ian got 28 show. Jailton, my 51K to a okay, where's the salaries on Junkie? Let me take a look here. I'm gonna pull up for us. We'll read it together. We have to go through the other fights too. We got 20 minutes. We'll get through them quick. Where the is the MA? Okay, I found it. Nolan King. Excuse me, Nolan Smith. Nolan King just no, because a picture of Anthony Smith here. Nolan got the salaries. Just go through them quick. So we got. Let me go to the top here. Let's go to the. All right. So Jailton, he made 102 with his win bonus. Okay. Rozenstruik 130 for the loss. Okay. He probably didn't get it. Johnny Walker did great. 180,000. That's great. He did really well. Anthony Smith made $200,000. Wow. No wonder Dana wanted him to retire. Listen, like I understand, like professional athletes, like they should be probably getting paid more, but like I'm a little surprised Smith's at 200K. Are you surprised by that? That's pretty fucking high.
I'm actually not, man. He's for a long time by the company right now, and he fought for a title. So
that's true. Actually, you're right. Okay.
I think D-Rod is higher than Gary. What do you think?
Let me keep reading. So Gary's 56. D-Rod's at 78. Okay, so D-Rod's doing well, but remember, so he's 37. Like he's been in the game for a while. If he won, he would have made 156, I think. That's pretty good. Alberg made 66. He's got to get a raise too. That's too low for him, I think. 33 and 33. Peteria's on 12 and 12. Oh god. Put a guy in a 12 and 12 contract on the fucking main card. I mean, come on. Let's keep going. Morona made 180. Wow, he did great too. Morona did great. Again, company man, UFC likes him. Means also is on a nice contract. He's 90 and 90. That's pretty fucking good. Matt Brown made 250. Wow. Good for him, man. But again, that's 15 years in the company. He should be making that much, right?
Plus 50K for the bonus.
And the bonus. So he got $300,000. Wow. He did great. Good for him. Corey made 60. I thought I guess he would have been 60. Okay. It's probably a little bit low for a guy with 13 years in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Williams, 12 and 12 makes sense. Sherman was 33. We'll talk about him in a minute. Our boy Gerard's got 100K. Good for him. Cody made 78. No wonder he's appealing. He lost out on 78,000.
Yeah.
He appealed too. Boom made 20. So she's on 10 and 10. She's on the lowest contract in the UFC right now. 10 and 10. Kim 35. Brian Battle 100K, including he made 100. Wait, what?
He's the Ultimate Fighter winner, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know they were making that much. What the? Wow, that's
50 plus 50. Yeah,
good for him. Yeah, you're right. It's 50-50. Okay, that makes sense. And then he actually got a bonus.
Yeah, so 150.
Despite missing weight, some media member brought it up, and I got to give the media credit. No one was like, but he missed weight, Dana. You shouldn't give him a bonus. I'm glad they didn't say that because I'm glad they didn't fuck him over. He needs the money. You know what I mean, Marcel? Gabe Green, 26. And then what else do you have? Jessica Rose Clark. No, Lisboa is 20. Clark was 38. Well, she wasn't making much money at all, to be honest with you. Lisboa's minimum salary. Okay, so that was worth looking at.
Yeah.
A couple of comments now. Who's a millionaire? What's up, Brandon? Who's a millionaire? Who is?
Maybe Matt Brown. I don't know.
Matt Brown, he's doing good. He's doing good. Bomb is Boom. She's on 10 and 10 for 4 fights. She's going to make 10 and 10. They're not going to give her a contract extension unless she does really well in her last fight. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the other fights here. We had Carlos Alberg defeats Igor Peteria. I mean, kind of an easy fight to call. What do you think's next for him? I think he's ranked now. He's not ranked, actually. This Dustin Jacoby at 15 makes sense. That's a good fight, right?
Yeah, I think they should give him somebody in the ranking. I don't know. I don't care who, to be honest. Can be Dustin Jacoby or the winner of Khalil Roundtree against Chris Dawkins. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's next month, actually. It's in a couple weeks. Sure, they could do the winner of that fight. That would be good too. Yeah, he looked good. Morono comes back after losing the first round to Tim Means and then submits him. Tim again, gets submitted and gets finished again. That's been his problem his whole career. Look at all the submission losses he has, Marcel, because he's a tough guy to knock out.
He looked good in the first round, dude.
Great, dude. I thought I was gonna get the pick wrong. I was like, fuck. Like I'm like, man, Tim looks good. Because originally when I was looking at this fight, I'm like, man, Tim Means at these odds, like he could win a decision, right? Yeah. But Marcel, as soon as he left his neck out, Morono snatched it so fucking quick. Like
it was crazy, man. He had that spinning back fist, and in the fall, he grabbed the neck.
It was crazy. So Tim's been submitted like 5 times by Matt Brown,
Kevin Holland,
Cowboy Oliveira, D-Rod, Kevin Holland, and now Morono. So 5 submission losses. And Tim is turning 40 next year. He's lost 3 straight fights. Do they give him one more? Tim Means?
I have no idea, man. Maybe not. I don't know.
I hope
for him he does. Yeah, of course. I always liked Tim Means. So yeah.
How do you not like the guy? He's a fucking. I wouldn't say he's a legend, but he's a warrior.
He's a mainstay.
Oh, you're talking about? Yeah, you're right about Francis. That's what he's probably talking about. With the millionaire thing. Matt Brown, we just talked about him. Thank you for really like solidifying my pick last week because I was kind of on the fence because of the line movement. Right, it was worrying me. But it doesn't always mean the guy's going to lose. Just because people are hammering that line does not mean they'll lose. And in this case, Matt Brown went out there and basically chin checked McGee. Great win for Brown. 3 straight bonuses for him now. Marcel at age 42, still winning fights. Most knockout wins now in UFC history, tied with Derek Lewis. Most finishes at welterweight ever. He's going to the Hall of Fame. I already talked about this last week. This fight kind of went how we both thought it would. Right? We both called him by knockout. You think McGee might retire or be released. He's been knocked out brutally in 2 straight fights, and he's almost 40. What do you think?
Possible, but I gotta say, man, until that knockout, McGee didn't look bad in that fight.
No, he didn't, but he got caught, man.
Yeah, I gotta give Brown credit, man. He gave him one shot.
It didn't even follow up, right?
No, he saw it was over. So
yeah.
Great
he's a veteran. He's not going to do that to Court, and Court's also a respected guy. So you gotta love that about Matt Brown. Carl Williams defeats Chase Sherman by decision. I actually thought Chase looked decent for a guy who was like plus 300 personally. Like, I thought it was a close decision.
Carl had some trouble.
Pardon?
Carl had some more trouble with Chase than I expected, to be honest.
Me too. I wasn't impressed, man. I think, listen, the guy's good. He's a good athlete.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
Very young in MMA. He's doing well, but like, this was not his best performance, but easily. Chase gets cut by the UFC now. What do you think?
He is cut, probably what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be really honest, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised.
He's 2-6 in his last stint, by the way. I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, I was not surprised, but you got to give him credit. He fights everybody, anywhere, everywhere. He's always there for the UFC. So
I would have given him one more fight. I would have, because he's a guy that accepts literally anyone they put in front of him.
Who would you give him? Braxton Smith rematch or Chris Barnett rematch?
Did he fight Justin Taffa yet? Has he fought him? I don't think so, right? Taffa's
fighting Austin Lane, right?
The loser of that fight, I think, would have made sense.
I would give him Junior Taffa, actually.
Or Junior Taffa. Either the Taffa brothers, right? Either of them. Mm-hmm. Or what's the other guy? I guess he's on the UFC, that Bado guy. He's not in the UFC anymore, right?
No.
Okay. I guess it listen, I'm not surprised they cut him. He's 1-6 in his last 7 fights, but he shows up to fight, man. And he's actually pretty tough dude. I think he'll go to BKFC. I think he'll go back there or something. Maybe he'll fight Ben Rothwell. Maybe he'll fight like Alan Belcher or something.
It's possible.
Probably makes more money than he did in the UFC, quite frankly. A couple other comments here. Actually, let me finish the card and we'll go to the comments. Let me just finish it. There's only a few fights left. Douglas Silva de Andrade defeats Cody Stamen. I picked the Silva de Andrade. Did you pick him last week? I can't remember now.
No, I picked Stamen.
This was probably one of my better underdog picks. And listen, like, it was a close fight. Stamen did get screwed by the ref. There's no doubt. Like, I even tweeted, I'm like, what the hell? Like, why is the ref he didn't take a point, or he didn't give him the position, right? So like, the ref fucked up. But now Stamen's appealing it. I've never seen the appeal work for this kind of thing. Like, I don't see how it works.
But it's good he does.
I'm glad he did. Again, he's got a lot of money risking it. And he said, like, I talked to the commission. They said there's a chance. So he thinks that there's a chance. I don't think so, Marcel, but maybe it's worth just a shot, right? Like,
the problem is the commission didn't follow up their own rules. I have here. I actually have to. I tell you what I have here. Give me a second.
You have the rules.
The rule where it's like where it went wrong. Let me see.
I heard Steven talking about it. Like, they have 2 options: either take a point or give him the position back. And they didn't do either. But I don't think it's going to.
Here it is. Rule number 14, NAC 12.08093. If bottom contestant commits a foul, the bout shall continue so as not to jeopardize the top contestant's superior positioning at the time.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? Because you were yawning.
Sorry, I yawned at the same time. Go ahead, read it again. Sorry.
Okay. So it said, if bottom contestant commits a foul, the bout shall continue so as not to jeopardize the top contestant's superior positioning at the time.
And the ref fucked that up. It's so obvious too, right? It's so fucking obvious. Like, it's so stupid. This happens almost every week. I find it, Marcel. Like, I'm like, oh my god, this ref didn't restart them. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll read the questions, guys. I just want to finish the card and then I'll go through the questions. Mandy Boom defeats Ji-Young Kim by a split decision. Fucking shit fight. I mean, it might have been the worst fight of the year potentially, right? Like, it was such a shit fight. Mandy Boom sucks. She should not be in the UFC. She's a terrible fighter. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. She's just not good. And Ji-Young Kim is also pretty bad, man. I gotta be honest. She's lost 5 straight fights. Remember last week I was like, man, be careful, guys, about laying juice on this chick. Like, because listen, is she a tough girl? For sure. Can she strike? Yeah. Her ground game is terrible. It is so bad. Like, she probably should have won this fight, but the fight IQ was low. The fouls committed were stupid. How can you blame anyone else besides Kim here? Like, she struck a girl after the bell. That's an automatic foul anywhere, okay? Anyone's going to take a point. In fact, they can disqualify you for that. The other one would be the illegal knee in the 3rd round. I get it. Maybe it was some acting job, but, like, I don't blame the girl for looking for a way out. She won the fight because of it. So don't blame the fight. Don't blame Boom here. And I don't think you should blame the ref either, man. I really don't. Like, Like again, I picked Kim. I was hoping she'd win because it would help my picks, but Marcel, I'm just trying to be. I wanted things to be, fair, and like you got to take points for fouls. And this girl committed 2 of them. So
can't say anything about it.
No, like what do you think, man? Because people were pretty
upset about this. It's because of the broadcast, dude. That's why. The thing is, like, she kicked her in the face. She got a point deduction. It's a little bit awkward when the ref did the point deduction. Yes, it was, but who cares? She deserved the point deduction. She got the point deduction. Third round, she kneed her in the face. She didn't. I still think she didn't want to continue, but let's say she couldn't continue. But that's on Kim. She shouldn't have done it.
Exactly.
So she gets a point deduction when the judges already gave in the scorecards. But at the same time, people are nitpicking about that.
Yep.
Why are you nitpicking about?
I think it's fine.
About a point deduction that was deserved. 100%. If the point deduction wasn't deserved, I understand the nitpicking. But now we are like, and it's mostly like, and I'm not gonna generalize here now. It's mostly like people from America who's watching it. It's like you cannot give a foul after the fight. It's like, dude, yeah,
you can disqualify someone after the fight. After the fight's over, just say the fight's over, right? Someone wins the decision, and the guy goes and attacks the person in the corner. That's disqualification. You lost. Yeah. It's not the first time this has happened. I think you're right. The broadcasters, DC and Cruz were just going after the ref. Like, even Anik was jumping in. I think the ref got a raw deal here, personally, man. I don't think he really did a bad job in this fight. That's my opinion.
I agree that the point deduction came a little bit late, the second one, but that's for me not the case. She made the fall. She deserved the point deduction. You know what I mean? And it was stupid from Kim because she was winning the fight. She was winning the fight. So
she fought so emotionally. She fought so bad.
She fought way too.
Bro, her coaches were angry at her too, guys. Her coaches
it was stand up, but she didn't stand up. She kept on the ground.
She said she had a knee injury and she couldn't stand. I get it.
I kind of feel bad on the other side for her because from those 5 or 6 losses, she should have won 3 or something,
Yeah.
So and she got screwed by some of the judges on one on one thing on one. How do you say that?
McCann fight, Cachoeira fight. Edwards, like even the Boone fight, she could have won all those fights.
Yeah. So that's bad, But
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You live and die by the sword. I'm looking at her record right now, guys, in the UFC. 3-7. 3-7. Okay, 2 of those wins are by split decision. Okay, she got fortunate and won 2 split decisions. She could have lost those fights. She could be 1 in 9.
I think she actually lost the Kish fight.
Yes. So you live and die by the sword, and you see that all the time where a guy will lose a split and then win one the next time he fights. So, or a girl in this case.
And also,
but I don't blame them either. 5 straight losses. Like,
what's with the Mandy Boom pronunciation?
That was just
what's with
very, very bizarre because I heard the way you said it. And I think you're right. So
I'm 100% right because I'm actually no German, and I've seen German shows where she fought and how they pronounce it and how they interview her.
Like
Mandy
right?
Boom, yeah, Mandy Boom.
Yeah, no, I know. I think John is he's just hearing it wrong, but I don't know. I don't want to criticize John because he's got a tough job.
John is great.
But we just want to hear it right too, And anyways, let's just go to the last 2 fights. Brian Battle knocks out Gabe Green. Amazing knockout. I don't know what the bonus because he missed weight. Like it's kind of weird when the guy's missing weight gets a bonus. Like, and Dana just forgot, and then no one said anything, which I don't blame the media for doing that though. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I don't mind.
I do because, man, it's not that you have to play by the same rules for everyone, though. Like, there's been other great performances.
I agree with that.
A guy missed by half a pound and got fucked out of his bonus. Not fucked out. It's his fault for missing it. Battle missed by 2 pounds. It wasn't just 1, it was 2. So,
but Adam, let's talk about something. What the hell was Gabe Green going to do there, dude?
He low fight IQ.
He came out crazy, and he went with in a slugfest with him, and it was like who gets caught, who gets
he's been knocked out before, dude. Jalen Turner knocked him out. I think it was either in Bellator or like regional scene, but he's been knocked out.
Yeah.
So in the UFC, he's looked tough and everything, but like it was coming, right? He's actually been dropped in 3 straight fights. I think the UFC knew what they were doing here again, Marcel. They're like, okay, this guy's chinny. We're gonna give him a guy that can punch or kick.
I fucking switched my pick, dude. After
fucking hometown fighter, man. So Brian Battle looked great. I really like Brian Battle. Don't get me wrong. I just think
me too.
I don't know if this is the right weight class because it doesn't look like he can make the weight. He looked like a fucking skeleton on the scale.
Yeah.
When I saw him on the scale, I was very, very tempted to switch the pick. I really was. I was like, you know what? I'll just stick with it because again, I think the hometown can help him kind of win the fight, and that's kind of what happened. The crowd really helped him here. So, anyways, and then starting off the card, great pick here, Marcel, with Tanera Lisboa, phenomenal UFC debut. I thought she should have got a bonus. I don't know what you thought, but I thought she should have got a bonus.
100%. And by the way, I switched here as well. I switched to Lisboa. I had Clark on the show.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. I thought you picked Lisboa. Anyways,
I did after.
Yeah. She looked great, right? Like, very good performance, I thought. And Clark also, by the way, guys, she's been released too by the UFC. I know she's your girl, but her submission defense is pretty bad. So
she's not bad. I don't dislike her, I kind of like her, but listen, man, I mean, her last fights were bad. The only fight she won was against Atwood because she lay on top of her for 3 rounds. So it's not really good, and yeah, I reconsidered my pick because I thought Lisboa, I watched some of her stuff more. Her kickboxing is good, her Muay Thai kickboxing is good.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's see if it comes to the ground, how it goes. And I think her ground game was pretty on point as well. So, yeah, well done by her, man. It was a really cool debut, I think.
You were kind of down this card before, but what did you think after? I think it was a pretty good card, right?
Yeah, didn't I?
Was this one last week? I can't remember now, honestly. Maybe
I think it was like
I put words in your mouth. I'm sorry.
I give it a 7.5.
It was a pretty good card, I thought. I thought it was a pretty good card. There was a few slow spots, like that Boom fight was just fucking horrible, but I thought it was a good card, man, personally. Now I'll get some comments, guys. I'll read the comments, then we'll quickly do Bellator, and then we'll go to the next card. Alrighty. Tired of talking about judges rest every week and nothing ever changes. The reason I'll stop following them eventually. I mean, Glenn, you're preaching to the choir, man. As you guys know, with Roman, do you know who Romanov's training? I've watched Instagram. It doesn't look promising. There's some like just some random guys, right? Is he Moldova? He's back there now, isn't he?
I have no idea. I haven't checked.
It's a shame because Romanov, his team left, or his team before his coach left for Russia would beat Almeida. He's looking terrible. He needs to maybe he just needs to go to the States and be like, I'm going to American Top Team, or I'm going to what's it called, Killcliff, something like that. I don't know, some mega camp. Maybe just go to Vegas. They go to the Extreme and the PI and everything. Mandy Boom. I know you hate it, man. I know you were texting messages back and forth. Second point deduction on this day. Why take a point when the fight was over? Because because the fight was only over because of the knee, though. So I'm fine with that point deduction, man. I agree that Mandy should be cut too. I think they should have cut them both. It was Marcus, but the fight was it was a weird timing. But again, I think in the end, a point was justified, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of what I think. Clear DQ. I also feel like the DQ is fine too. I think really what it comes down to is, do you think that Boom won or Boom? Now I'm fucking saying it wrong. Do you think that Boom won the first round or not? Because really, that's what it comes down to.
I don't think she did, to be really honest.
I don't think she won any of the rounds, right? That's why. But two of the judges, including our boy Mike Bell, scored it for her, I should say. All nonsense. Keith Peterson line was awesome at Cruz. He was actually having fun time with Cruz. It was hilarious. Yeah, there's a lot of Keith Peterson bashing there. And dude, Benoit Saint-Denis' opponent is, I don't know, but he's a tough dude, man. He's fucking tough.
Benoit said that Nurullo Aliyev turned him down, but I have no idea.
That's kind of weird, right? Do you think? And Nurullo, he didn't look amazing in his debut with that weird, what was it? He pulled what did he do?
Yeah, they say he bite him.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it really, but yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Hopefully, Kim and Rose take their clown. It's the OnlyFans. I think Jessica Rose Clark is going to go to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That's my pick, Marcel. I think it's very, very likely. She just seems like the kind of fighter that would go there. And I think Kim will end up with PFL. That's my prediction. What do you think?
Possible.
We'll see. Or maybe one championship. She could go there possibly too. What was screaming at her?
Maybe a battle call.
Yeah, and wasn't listening. She didn't listen. She refused to listen to her corner. That's why it's just hard to have sympathy for someone that's breaking the rules and not listening to their coaches. How could you feel bad for this fighter? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think it's just that people don't like Mandy Boone because she's a bad fighter who's boring, right? And they just hated her so much that they just couldn't get that over mind. What are you gonna say?
I had to laugh about Coach Stroud from Killcliff against Chase Sherman. He was like, Chase, are you listening, Chase?
What's his name? Coach what?
Coach Stroud.
Was that the older guy?
No, that's the guy with the ponytails.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like, Chase, this and that. And Chase was like, Chase, are you listening? Chase, are you listening? He's like, I'm trying to catch my breath, dude.
Wait, what's it? Coach Trout? That's his name?
Strout, I think. Strout.
Oh, okay.
Strout, I think is his name.
Let me take a look. Okay. Oh, Jason Strout.
Yeah, Jason Stroud.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's a former what's it called? Rufus Sport kickboxing coach. Definitely, that guy was jokes.
I was like, I'm trying to catch my breath. Okay.
That's funny. Let me just get a few more comments, guys. Brian Battle he's cutting too much weight. Renat's bad match for Ian Gary. Renat could be top 15. He's an underrated guy. I mean, he destroyed Brian Battle and no one's talking about him.
Renat is the typical guy nobody wants to fight if he comes to the top 15.
I just don't know if Brian can really make 150, 170, guys. Like, he didn't make it in this fight. Like, he looked like a skeleton on the scale. This boy, J.V. Linhorth, good fight. Makes sense, right? Good fight.
Why not? Yeah.
Who's stock dropped the most? Jairzinho, Daniel Rodriguez,
Anthony
Smith. Those three guys, I think, right? The three top guys. Sister, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all going through salaries. Always nice to get y'all's insights on certain topics like fighter pay and fight rules. Yeah, no problem, man. I think the fighters should make as much as they can. It's just a little surprising sometimes when guys don't make as much as you thought, and then some guys make more than you thought. Thoughts on Corey versus Umar? I mean, it's not official, but it looks like the UFC wants to make this fight. I'm fine with it. I mean, Corey doesn't have another fight right now. He called Marab, but he's not fighting Marab. It looks like they're going to do Henry and Marab.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good fight. Do you like it, Corey and Umar?
Yeah, why not? I think Corey has balls taking it. Nobody else wants it, so yeah.
No one wants to fight this guy, obviously. Anything else you want to say? You're good.
I'm good.
For the UFC? Okay, let's just
that last comment.
Why Shane Bal's acceptable to one, guys? I know, right? Except for you and Marcel. Of all the guys. All right, let's go through Bellator really quick, Marcel. I don't want to talk about it too much because honestly, I'm kind of pissed at Bellator. The day before this card happened, they announced that they were changing from a free YouTube model, because we've been watching Bellator for free on YouTube for like a year or two now.
Yeah.
To you have to pay $20 a card now to watch it in Canada.
Oh shit! We have it now, not on YouTube also anymore. It's behind a paywall, but it's like $8 a month.
They want $20 a month for this, so it's too much. I mean, especially
That's
for
too much.
This card wasn't the greatest card. Let's just go through it quickly.
And it's not like they have a weekly event, right? So
that's the thing. Like, if it was 4 cards a month, yeah, that's fine. But like, because it's $5 a card, but like one card a month. I'm not paying $20 to watch Fabian Edwards and Gegard. I'm sorry, I'm not.
I understand that.
Fabian Edwards defeats Gegard Mousasi by decision. Big win for him. Any thoughts?
I think Gegard really looks off. I mean, listen, man. A good Gegard never loses to Fabian Edwards, in my opinion. And Fabian Edwards was quicker on the feet, looked really good. I gotta say, I was impressed actually by Fabian. The first time, I really was impressed by him, how he looked. Gegard had 2 good moments, round 2, where he illegally hit him, and then he got separated, and round 4 when he actually had him in full mount and got his back for a second, but Fabian escaped. Fabian looked really good, man. Got to give him credit. I was really on the fence with Fabian for a long time. Like I said last week, like he went on the second spot by beating beating an old Lyoto Machida and Charlie Ward, Conor Dormat. So it's like, how we get number 2, but he proved himself. He proved himself now, in my opinion, and but he's still going to get destroyed by Johnny Ablin. I mean, Johnny Ablin is like the champion, and he's a beast, like you say.
Yeah.
And Johnny Ablin would do well in the UFC as well.
I think so too. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because I told you at that concert last day, and one of my friends that came, I haven't seen him in a while, and he was just like, "Dude, Johnny Ablin's so fucking good. Like, he's like, I think he's the best middleweight in the world, right?" And I'm like, well, I don't think you can give him that title right now. Well, is he still alive? But the thing is, stylistically, he's an interesting fight for Izzy, right?
Definitely.
So, like, he's a great fighter, and I don't know how many fights he has left on his contract, man. If there's any way to get him to the UFC, I'd love to do it. But they'll keep him as long as they can. A couple other fights here. Brent Primus defeats Mansour Barnaoui. I mean, this is a big upset, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I gotta be honest.
I also thought Mansour would win. So
5-round decision. That's pretty impressive, man.
I think he looked really good. By the way, Dana going to get an announcement in 30 minutes.
He is? Dana?
Yeah.
Maybe the Conor fight, you think? Possibly?
I have no idea. Maybe the Boston card or the Salt Lake City card.
Maybe Nashville, the one that I talked about last week that I reported.
Possible as well.
But I heard the other guy I talked to told me the 19th last week.
Okay.
But that's also the rumored date for Boston. So I don't know what you heard, but it's definitely happening, right? Like,
I heard Salt Lake City 29th, Nashville the 6th, I think.
Oh, that's what you heard now? Okay, so they moved it. Okay, that makes sense. But it's definitely happening, right? Nashville? Yeah. A couple other fights. Douglas Lima, I told you, man, it's an underdog. It was a little surprising. He defeats Costello Venstinas. Any thoughts on this? You defeat your fellow countryman.
Costello looked good in the first round, man, but Diego. No, not Diego.
Not Diego, bro. Diego would have got knocked out.
Douglas took over. Douglas took over.
You know what I'm saying? Diego's chin was not very good.
Yeah. By the way, on the broadcast with UFC, they're like Carl Williams' coaches are in his corner because they're in London. I was
Dude,
like,
they're fucking Paris. They were at the Bellator. I heard that. I'm like, what is he talking about? I was like, why was he training in London? Like, and then I was like, oh wait, it's the guys at what's it called? ATT Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Steve Alcuti gets a knockout. Marcel, former UFC fighter. Your girl Denise Kielholtz, she gets the win. Yeah, Luca Pocklet, he got an upset win over Oliver Enkamp.
I didn't agree with that.
A lot of people were betting on Enkamp for UFC fighter. Saulo Rogers, David Gallon, very weird ending right to the fight. The ref fucked up bad, but I've never seen them overturn it this fast before. Have you?
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
Me too, dude. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, obviously the guy didn't tap out.
Yeah,
it was fucking bullshit. But like, even that, remember the Drew Dober fight years ago with that? What was that guy's name?
Leandro Silva.
Remember, he had to go through the appeal process, and that was, I think most people would consider that like one of the worst stoppages. There's so many bad ones looking back. Remember, you know what's another bad one? Matt Wyman versus Mac Danzig. Remember that one?
Yeah, Mac Danzig's like, what?
It's so bad when the ref doesn't like check the guy's arm and they just stops the fight.
Robbie Lawler, Ben Askren.
Another one. That one was, to be fair, that it did look like he was out, but like,
I agree.
You're right. But like this one, he didn't look like he was out at all. Like, I'm like, why is he stopping the fight? What are you fucking doing? Like,
what do you think about the Michael Chiesa Kevin Lee one? Actually,
that was also like a bad stoppage, I thought too. Very early, and they never ran that fight back. Wasn't that Mario Yamasaki? I think?
Yeah, it was Yamasaki. Yeah.
Jacob Montalvo was the ref for that fight, and he's a good ref too. So I'm a little surprised by that. And he also got out for that card. You're good.
Jacob Montalvo is a better ref than he is a judge, by the way.
Was it Augusto guy he won?
Sorry.
Was it Augusto?
Yeah, that was against Simon Bejong, right? Yeah, good win for him, man. Good.
And then that's pretty much everyone I want to mention. All right, let me get some last comments, guys. There was Bellator, but like a lot of people won. I don't think you're the only one who didn't watch it. Pete Rodriguez. Oh yeah, he's a fucking idiot. I mean, they should cut him, right? They should cut him.
I never say they should cut somebody, but it looks bad. Let's put it that way.
Okay, or force him to move back up to 170.
Yeah, definitely. They should do that, definitely.
You think it's going to be a thing with Francis? That's interesting. Imagine they go on table, we're suing Francis or something like We should watch the announcement together during your breakdown. I don't know if you can hear the sound, right? Like, I'm not sure.
No, that's the problem.
Yeah, we can have it in the background, but we'll talk about it during it. Salt Lake City pay-per-view. That's correct. Dana White breaking news. Take attention for Francis, possibly. All right, let's end this podcast now, Marcel. So I'll start the new podcast up, guys. We're going to do the preview UFC Vegas 73. Thanks again, guys, for joining in here with the UFC Charlotte Recap. Thanks again to Gorilla Gambles for the artwork, as always, man. Appreciate it. Want to give you a shout out, Marcel. We're going to start the next podcast in a minute. Just hold on, guys. I'll tweet it out and we'll break down UFC Vegas 73. Just hold on a sec, guys, and bear with us for a few minutes here.